What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerdvengers Tower. We need to talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. In the midst of all of these updates, rumors, and speculation, I want to drop to you two characters that I think will be in Multiverse of Madness that next to nobody is talking about. First up, let's just talk about all the crazy new footage that has been dropping in the little TV spot / social media spots online. The footage is absolutely dope, and it shows that Kevin Feige is still using his same old tricks to try to throw us off the scent and preserve the secrets for this movie. And in fact, as we've been talking about, and I'm sure we'll get into later on in the video, this is probably one of the best efforts ever by a major motion picture studio to hide crazy secrets from the public. Before we talk about secrets, I just want to talk about this crazy shot right here of Wanda coming through the door, spinning off the metal skin of what looks to be an Ultron drone. Now, I'm going to be completely real with you. When I first saw this clip, I was convinced that she was ripping off the flesh of an actual human skull, and I was like, oh my goodness. I knew Wanda was going crazy, but oh my God, she's really pushing it to the limit. But it's just an Ultron drone, or at least that's what they're telling me, which probably means that a lot of this blood that we see all over her is actually like oil or parts from Ultron drones. It seems like she's going to be dispelling and disposing of those pretty easily. And the only thing I really want to say about this is that it really looks like Wanda is going full-on Darth Vader in this scene, which is something we've been speculating about for over a year now. And yet, there are still people out there online that seem to refuse to believe that Wanda's going to be stacking up a body count or being the villain of this movie. So stop right now and let me know in the comment section, like, do you think Wanda's going to be the villain of this, or are you still in that camp where you're like, no, it's going to be a variant Strange that's the villain, or Cthulhu or Shuma Gorathi Gargantos lady, and Wanda's did nothing wrong and she won't kill anybody. Now, next up, I want to talk about this scene right here with Defender Strange in this weird realm, which we believe is holding the Book of Vishanti. And the big reason I want to talk about this is because they have changed the color of the spell that Steven is using during this scene. In most of the footage we've seen so far, the spell is orange and the energy seems to be orangish or red. But in this shot, which is in the new TV spot, the energy and spell appears to be blue. Now, one reason this is so cool is because, again, it showcases that Feige is changing things in the footage you see in the trailers to throw us off the scent. Another recent one of these that was revealed was that in the new TV stuff, he has removed the Rachel McAdams character, who we believe is playing Night Nurse at this Illuminati / Multiversal Avengers place. But in this stuff, it's all about just changing the color of that spell. And so this is visually really cool. Again, it shows they're changing things, but there's probably a reason for this. After all, in more recent footage, we have seen what appears to be the Book of Vishanti itself encased in some kind of blue energy. And I believe that this Defender Doctor Strange will be utilizing the Book of Vishanti to cast crazy magic or spells, and he may well actually give that book to America Chavez for when she leaves to go find our Steven. The Book of Vishanti and the Book of the Darkhold appear to be opposite ends of the magical spectrum, and I think it's super cool that one of them has this red energy like Wanda's energy, that's of course the Darkhold, and the other book seems to have this blue energy, and I'm hoping that Stephen Strange utilizes a lot more of that blue energy to fight against Wanda's red energy, because that's just frankly going to look awesome. But now let's talk about the surprises and the discussion around the cameos for the Multiverse of Madness. Now, nothing exactly new has been coming out, but there have been some really interesting things going on with insiders and Scooper. Frankly, things are getting pretty weird with the discussion around Deadpool specifically going both ways, with some insiders saying they believe, yes, Deadpool will be in the movie in a post-credit scene, while other people are saying he's absolutely not in the movie or connected to the post-credit scenes at all. There have been a lot of conflicting reports about almost all of these big cameos, and again, we think this is because of the original shooting, the reshooting, and then secret shooting that is going on for the film. And there are just two main comments that I want to bring up to you that I think really serve to explain where we are currently at with the Multiverse of Madness. First of all, Charles Murphy was talking about on Twitter how a lot of the new surprises that have recently been added to the film have not hit the internet anywhere, or at least are not hitting major big junkets. Now, one of the reasons that is because Marvel Studios and their PR team have been very active going around to different scoopers, different websites and junkets and putting pressure on them to not talk about crazy leaks. And it seems to be working because a lot of the crazy stuff is not out there. A lot of the stuff that we're hearing about right now is stuff we have been hearing about with no confirmation of what's actually going to be in this movie. Now, the other comments I want to talk about are comments made by John Campea, a popular YouTuber and insider. Now, John's been teasing out some info and images that he's been getting recently that he's not going to talk about, he's not sharing about, but he's definitely hyping up the surprises and the excitement for the film. He recently said that he received an email from a very reliable person that has given them reliable stuff in the past. And he says here that in the email, they talk about how crazy the security is, but he says, the source says, there are more big surprises in Doctor Strange 2 than in Infinity War, Endgame, and Spider-Man No Way Home combined. And that is absolutely bananas because there were a lot of crazy surprises in Infinity War, especially in Endgame with teases and cool things like Cap saying Hydra Cap, Mjolnir coming back, all sorts of crazy things. Fat Thor, Professor Hulk, Captain America wielding Mjolnir. It's all crazy stuff, right? And then you think about Spider-Man No Way Home, all the villains coming back, the craziness with Venom and the Sony stuff, and of course, all three Spider-Man in the multiverse breaking open. Massive surprises and excitement there. And for a source, a very reliable source, to say that there are more surprises than in all of those projects combined. And when you hear someone like Charles Murphy say that a lot of crazy stuff that has been added to the movie is not being talked about, well, man, that gets me super excited, super hyped up for the possibilities, and it gets me a thinking. And now let's talk about two crazy cameos that might line up with a lot of what Charles Murphy and John Campea are hinting at that, again, not a lot of people are talking about. First up, let's talk about Clea. Now, Clea is not confirmed to be in this film, but is a much more substantiated rumor than what we're going to talk about next. And, you know, that's going to be pretty crazy as well. But this is a long-standing rumor. It did come from a variety of reliable people about 2 years ago. Now, you never quite know. I mean, the 2 years is a long time in the process of this movie, of course, being what it was. This could have been dropped, but we have heard some more recent reports that Clea will be involved in the movie in some kind of a big way. And there was even a recent social media post by somebody that worked on Multiverse of Madness showcasing a comic book that was said to be a major influence on what Sam Raimi wanted to do in this movie, and it's a comic book that heavily involved the character of Clea. TLDR on Clea is that she's from the Dark Dimension. She meets Stephen Strange when he invades the Dark Dimension, and she ends up helping him against Dormammu. Now, Dormammu obviously doesn't like that. He ends up imprisoning Clea. Doctor Strange, though, eventually ends up helping Dormammu fight off these mindless ones, and then Dormammu essentially releases her. There's a lot of other kind of back and forth on this, with Clea being imprisoned and her being a super big love interest of Strange. He wants to do things to save her. Eventually, she gets brought to Earth and becomes Stephen Strange's pupil and his lover, and she's really a fun character that's incredibly powerful and would be massive for the MCU moving forward. And the current rumor on this is that Clea will be played by Charlize Theron, which honestly does seem to be corroborated by a lot of reliable people. This includes people like Daniel Richtman, people like My Time to Shine Low. It does seem like that is very real, and who knows for sure how big of a role she could have in the movie. But we got to remember, this is a Doctor Strange movie, and Clea, big time character for the Doctor Strange character. Now, my speculation on this is that the Clea we meet in this film will already have experiences with a different variant or version of Stephen Strange, but will come to know our Stephen Strange throughout the course of the film, and perhaps then come together later on. Either way, pretty sure she's going to be in the movie, pretty sure she's going to be awesome, and she's not a character that many people are talking about with regards to the Multiverse of Madness. She's pretty absent from a lot of the old plot leaks and the speculation that has been out there. And the next character that I want to talk about is Chris Evans as Hydra Captain America. And this is something that nobody is talking about. However, it is from the same time period of 2 years ago when the Clea rumors first started circulating. And what's crazy is after those rumors came out, Deadline, I believe, either way, it was a Hollywood trade, broke the fact that Chris Evans has returned under contract for the MCU. Bro, that's not even debatable. He's under contract again for the MCU. We don't know exactly what he's doing, but it would line up and be absolutely amazing if he came back to be Hydra Cap. And the last thing I want to leave you with is some crazy speculation on how those two characters could be working together, because there was originally a big crazy rumor that Feige wanted to introduce a Hydra Cap variant that's out there in the multiverse teaming up with a Clea variant, and that those two would be a major threat to the multiverse and perhaps be the Dark Avengers that will fight against our Avengers leading up to Secret Wars. Now look, that's a really old rumor. That's some crazy fanboy dreaming, but oh my God, would I absolutely love it. And it kind of lines up with things that Charles Murphy and John Campea are saying about all these crazy surprises that nobody's talking about. I mean, I think Chris Evans coming back to play a Captain America that is Hydra Cap, that's like, looks like the old Cap, but is authoritarian and crazy. I think that would be amazing for the MCU. I think it would be amazing for the Sam Wilson character, and to see that dude be a big multiversal threat out there, oh man, I would absolutely love it. So I'm holding out hope that it's actually a possibility, and we'll see it in the Multiverse of Madness. Let me know what you think about the crazy reports and my speculation on these two characters specifically, and make sure you like this video and stay subscribed to this channel, because we're going to be breaking down all the crazy Multiverse of Madness reports, rumors, theories. We're getting closer and closer each day to what I think is the next Avengers Endgame Spider-Man No Way Home level Marvel movie, and I'm super hyped up for it. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.